fly pelican, and I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a pelican forever, pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumpin' where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostag. Fly pelican, fly pelican, fly pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a pelican forever, pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a pelican forever, pelican forever.
First 3 quarters, you guys did a much better job against him in the fourth. What do you think changed in that final period just to be able to contain him a little bit better?
Just staying persistent. He's a tough cover. He attacks you. He gets to his left hand. He can shoot the floater. He can shoot the 3 ball. I thought it was important to try to keep him off the foul line going into the fourth quarter. That's what he was doing that well, shot faking us, jumping into us. So for our fourth quarter defense was really good.
There's small lineups, and then there's Herb at the 5, Dyson at the 4 lineups. Yeah. What did you like about that group for those 3-4 minutes, especially while Memphis still had Jaren, some combination of Jaren, Santi, and Brandon Clark out there?
I like the fact that that group brings toughness on both ends of the floor. All those guys can rebound the ball. They can defend multiple positions. And then the carryover from what we've been talking about in practice to the game was off the charts. Talking about Brandon and CJ having the ball, and when they do, we just don't want to stay in our spots. Now that's a time to slip out. Jose got a couple threes. That's a time to touch and go to the rim. We got to try to, take advantage of mismatches when we can. I thought we did a better job of doing that tonight.
JV, this is one of those nights where just the game, I guess, doesn't play to him because of how the lineups that they're using. How important is it to have guys like Larry and be able to have switchable lineups like you had late right now?
Yeah, it's extremely important for us. Like you said, unfortunately, it was a tough matchup game for JV. Steven Adams played 13 minutes. JV played 13 minutes. So we kind of had those guys matched up against each other. This was more of a small game, smaller 4s and 5s that are moving around, cutting, playing with force and pace. And we tried to match their team in that way. And it's just something we've been working on.
Coach, the threes seem to come in rhythm tonight. You didn't force them, and you end up hitting the most that your team has hit since you've been coaching the Pelicans. And then on the other end, defensively, 42 points allowed in the second half. Do you think that was the best second half defensively you guys have played so far this season?
I'm not sure, but it's definitely needed. And they're a good team. So to hold that team to 42 points in the second half, I thought the important part for us as far as being able to make threes was getting into the paint first, driving the ball, getting into the paint. They do a great job of protecting the paint, and now the dominoes will fall from there. So you got kick-out threes, you got secondary driving opportunities, and our guys executed that well tonight.
When you talk about like getting into the paint, kicking out, how advantageous was it to have multiple ball handlers on the court? You know, you had lineups with Jose, CJ, Vi, Dyson, just being able to create those paint touches.
That's what the game is coming down to. Guys that can play multiple positions, can handle the ball, can defend, can shoot the three ball at a high clip. And we put guys on the floor that can do all of those things. I'm thankful, that I get to coach this team. Griff and Trajan Swin, they've done an amazing job of, continuing to build our roster. And, sky's the limit. We'll continue to build from here, but definitely grateful. 17
minutes for Dyson tonight. Had a team high in rebounds. How'd you feel about his game and the minutes he gave you?
He's like I've said it before, but he and Herb, they just give you a comfort level when they're on the floor. He's only 19, but he doesn't play like it. And he's been working. He stays in the gym, working on his shot. He understands the game at a high level. We all feel comfortable putting him on the floor, and I'm super excited about what he did tonight and what he'll continue to do in the future.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Post-Game Report. Much love to the family. Appreciate y'all joining us for this episode of the Pelican Post-Game Report. We up in this thing. Pelicans get the victory, man, up against the Memphis Grizzlies. Really good win by the Pelicans. This one, CJ McCollum leads Pelicans to 113-102 win over Ja Morant's Grizzlies. So this is a big one. Pelicans improved to 8-6, 4-2 at home. I'm Big Q. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. We up in this thing. I got my co-host DC joining us. DC, what's popping, bro?
That bell meters was popping, bro. We were out here eating on some grizzly, like I told y'all, man. That's our little brothers. Get spanked.
DC called it. He said that's our little brothers. We handled business. Hey, DC without Zion, bro. CJ McCollum stepped up and led the way. Imagine if
we
had
needed was B.I. or Zion. We every time we play Memphis.
DC, your sound going in and out, bro. Pop, click out and click back in, bro. Your sound's up and down, bro. Click out, click back in, my brother. All right, so DC's resituating himself. We gave him too many good trophies for having good internet, and that's what happened. His internet's messing up down from the island. All right, so anyway, let's get it going, man. We're gonna go over some of the stats in this thing. Pelicans 43 of 91 for 47.3% from the field in this one, man, and it was pretty interesting to watch the Pelicans play. Man, this was a really good game. Felt like a playoff game, man. I really enjoyed watching this game, man. It was just fun. It was fun watching the Pelicans take it to the Memphis Grizzlies, man, for 4 quarters, man. And this was a full game. And if they can manufacture and play like this every game, that's what we looking at. With something special popping. All right, so anyway, let's finish up on that. 38 of 92 by the Grizzlies for 41.3% from the field. They were 9 of 35 from downtown for almost 26%. Pelicans really blazed them Grizzlies up really good from downtown. 18 3-pointers by the Grizzlies. You heard what the reporter said about that amount for Willie. 18 of 38 for 47.4%. That was lovely. The free throws, Pelicans really didn't get to the line like we wanted to, but it was all right. We was killing them on the 3. And from the field as well, 9 of 12 from the charity stripe. Grizzlies was 17 of 25 in the matchup for 68%. Pelicans 75% from the charity stripe. 51-43 on the rebounds in the game advantage. Grizzlies. You look at the assist Pelicans, when they get north of that 30, they're doing something right. 31 assists by the Pelicans tonight versus only 16.
I might have to trade the rebound stat out with the assist, bro.
Yeah, that's they get north of 30, they doing something. 6-2 on the steals advantage. Grizzlies 8-8, and in the blocks, the turnovers, Pelicans and Grizzlies kept the turnovers down. 10 for the Pels and 11 for the Grizzlies. That's why the game looked really good, man. It was minimal as mistakes that you could see from these two teams because they were really fighting. But the Pelicans had another gear, man. They just had it on their minds. They refused. They wasn't going to lose this game. Fast break points, 12-11 points in the paint, 54-44 advantage Grizzlies. And of course, you look at the lead. Pelicans led by as much as 13. Grizzlies as a DC. Talk stats to me.
Man, I got one stat that's just truly amazing to me, man. And that's 9 for 12. We got 12 free throws, man. That's all they gave us, bro.
I know. Some suspect
They gave
calls
us
in there, but
12
that
free
didn't let
throws,
us.
man.
And
they got 25.
Suspect calls in it. I seen it in the game, especially targeting and Hurd, man.
And we still won by 11.
I know. That's that. You
Man, with this. Yeah, very, very great game by the Pels, man. Very powerful. They really got up to play this game. CJ definitely got fouled, and he got all demonstrative, and it kind of pissed off. And I guess that resonated with the whole team, man. This almost felt like a playoff type game, man. It had that type of vibe to it. The 3-point shooting was outstanding by us. Also, you can blame Mr. McCollum for that, who was 7 for 13 from the 3-point line, and everybody else followed suit, man. We shot 47% from 3-point line. We took 38 threes. So, that's a formula that's definitely going to lead to some wins. So that stood out to me. Obviously, the free throws and the assists as well. 31 assists, man. They were sharing the ball. The unselfish team we saw all the guys basically sacrificing, and they looked like they wanted it to be CJ's night, man. I seen BI kind of take a back seat to him, even though he was pretty efficient tonight, and just kind of let CJ do his thing, man, and take us on home to victory, bro. Memphis beat us in points in the paint and rebounding, and we still got this win. So I got to agree with you, Q. They wasn't nowhere in hell the Pels was going to lose this game because some of the things that I look at, for me, I always focus on those points in the paint and rebounding, man. A lot of our wins, we usually dominated those statistics, and Pels said to hell with all that tonight. Still got the W.
Yeah, we'll see this team in 10 days, man. From here, on the 25th, we'll go up to Memphis, and we'll take on the Grizzlies again. And then before the last day of the year on the 31st, we'll play them again in Memphis. So 2 back-to-back matchups against Grizzlies, not back-to-back, but the matchups, we'll see them on the 25th of November and then the 31st of December. And then we won't see those guys all the way April. So we'll have 3 games out of the way by the Grizzlies before the year turn. And it's really weird how they set up the schedule. Shout out to Thomas. He said, did you guys see what Chuck and Kenny said after the game? No, I didn't, bro. I turned it right off right after the game. I didn't even hear what he said. What did you hear it? Put it in the chat what he said, Thomas. Thank you for the super chat, bro. You hear what he said, DC? Great things about this game, Big Q, was we turned the Ja Morant facade off, period, a faucet off, period. Man, that Jose is special. Yeah, Jose was dogging him, and he was able to strip him. And I think Jose take a lot of people off guard, man. His ferocity, how he plays, and he's an in-your-face type of dude, man.
Yes, he is.
And that could be a bit, plastering at first. A guy like, man, who is this little guy? He's a blur all over the place. He doesn't quit. He's looking, his eyes is bucking at you. So, I mean, Jose out there on the court.
Come on, man, with the eye bucking, bro. Don't do Jose like that.
All right. What did he say? Y'all put in the chat what Charles Barkley and Chuck said after the game. I turned it off right after the game was over with, fam.
Man, why are we even listening to them, man? So they talk shit about us all the time. Now we concerned with what they got to say?
No, it's just
I don't want to hear them talk good just like I don't want to hear them talk bad, man. The hell with them dudes, man.
All right, let's get into the individual statistics for DC. Stand on his goddamn soapbox. All right, here we go. 30 points for CJ McCollum. And listen, 37 minutes. He had 30 points in 37 minutes. He was 11 from 23 DC from the field. 23 attempts. He had it on his mind tonight. He was 7 of 13 from downtown. He had it on his mind tonight. CJ, after a couple of games where he was subpar, and even Willie alluded to it that he was under the weather, he had 30 points, almost a double-double day for CJ. 30 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds. He had a block in the game. He was on 1 plus 17 on the plus minus. He got a tech. He was all up in there. Just his intensity, his leadership ability kind of set the tone for the Pelicans. And man, he was on one in this matchup, man. CJ was the truth in this one. 19 from BI in 38 minutes, 7 of 14 from the field. He was perfect from downtown, 2 of 2, 3 of 3 from the charity stripe, 19 points, 4 rebounds, and a couple of assists with a block for BI. 10 from Herb Jones in 23 minutes, 4 of 7 from the field. He had 2 3-pointers tonight for Herb. He finished with 10 points, 3 rebounds, and a couple of assists. He also had a block. 13 from Trigger Trey Murphy in 25 minutes of action. 5 of 11 from the field, 3 of 6 from downtown for Trey. 13 points, 2 rebounds, a steal, a block, and an assist for him. Big V, not much shaking. Only 4 attempts from Big V in 14 minutes. Only 2 points. He had 4 turnovers and 4 personal fouls. So it wasn't working for Big V against his former team. Now you look at him with 2 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. Not much shaking for him. But Larry Nance had it going on in 31 minutes of action. Larry Nance, another big game for Larry, man. He's just so awesome. 19 points in 31 minutes. He was 8 of 10 from the field. Boy, they were flowing through him, and he was doing a lot of great stuff for the Pelicans. 1 of 1 from downtown. He was perfect from the charity stripe. He had a plus 16 on the plus minus, 19.7 rebounds, 2 assists, and a couple blocks for Larry Nance. Keep turning up big numbers, dunking on suckers. Jose Alvarado did what he did, 12 points in 21 minutes. He was 5 of 11 from the field, 2 of 6 from downtown. He finished with 12 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 block. And he didn't get, they said no steal there. I thought he stole a ball from Ja Morant, or did it just counted that as a block, I guess. And then listen, even though we got 4 from Nigel Marshall in 25 minutes of action, but really Dyson Daniels was a guy a lot of people talked about in 17 minutes of action. He hit that 3-pointer. He was 1 of 5 from the field. He did get a 3-pointer in there, 1 of 3. But his defense, he had 9 rebounds in 17 minutes. He had an assist and a steal and a block. Dyson Daniels stepped in there to really help the Pelicans seal this game, and he did a terrific job. So, DC, let's talk about these guys as well. And the top scorer for the Grizzlies, obviously, was Ja Morant. He finished with 36 points in 36 minutes, so that's a minute a point. 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. The guy's just terrific, and the Pelicans played better as a team than the Grizzlies did. That's just the bottom line. Let's talk about these guys, DC. Give me 3 of them.
Man, I was really happy for all our guys, man. They all play well. It's kind of hard for me to pick 3 guys, but I mean, you got to go with the stats. But I do want to mention or touch on something you said about Dyson Daniels, so I'll start with him first and then go with my 3 guys. But man, I saw y'all in the chat say it too, and I was thinking the same thing. I think he's gonna be special, Q. I think this dude is gonna be really good. It's not just the defense, it's just everything. Like he just says he has an ability to just understand the game, man, and he just makes all the right plays. You know what I mean? He's everywhere defensively. When he touched the ball on offense, he doesn't do anything stupid. He knows that, hey, this guy's got it going. Let me get out of his way. He also can make some passes and run the offense if needed. He's been shooting phenomenal from the 3-point line, although small clip. And it's just to see him out there and Willie to give him these minutes, man, it shows to me that Willie definitely believes a lot in Dyson Daniels. A lot of frustration we have with not seeing him. I think coach is just trying to bring him along the right way, man, and make sure he grows him properly to cultivate the skills that he has, man, because he's got something very special. He's just, I don't know how to explain it. He's just always doing the right thing, man. It's not showing up in stats just yet because he ain't playing a lot of minutes, but he plays winning basketball. And the more I think he's out there, I think the better we'll be, honestly. So, and I think they will find a way to get him on the court and not mess up the rotation with everybody else. But Dyson Daniels played some huge minutes, man, and he definitely attributed to this win. But let me move on to the 3 guys and not get too long-winded, as Big Q said I'll be doing with this. But we gonna none other than Jose Alvarado. Definitely got to mention him. The toss-up between him and Trey to me, because Trey played pretty good too. But Jose Alvarado, man, just the energy and how the Smoothie King Renner was, man. They was fired up every time he did something. He started putting the clamps on Ja towards the end of the game. He out there, he hitting 3-pointers, man. He's stealing the ball, going down and doing spin moves, almost laying it in, even though he got fouled, in my opinion. Jose, he's phenomenal, man. And the more he plays, the better we look. The defense looks sharp. Even the offense looks sharp with Jose out there. So it ain't just that one side, even though that's what he's known for. He's playing very well on offense too. Moving on to Larry Nance, man. I was talking to Big Q about Nance in the production meeting, and Coach kind of touched on it with Big V, because I was like, man, I feel sorry for Big V, because his last 3 games he's been not doing so hot. But I'm looking at Larry Nance, and Larry Nance been playing out of his mind. Man, out there dunking on people, playing amazing defense. He get a couple of assists. In another game, he hit 3 3-pointers. Talking about, yes, I can shoot like he Jose.
Right.
Man, this dude all over the place.
DC.
He doing all this.
DC, we
and he
talked
probably
about
like
this when
80%.
they made this trade. When they made this trade, remember when they
we
got
knew it
CJ
was gonna
McCollum
be
and Larry
good.
Nance? It was like people
And they
was
just
really
kind of
looking at
threw him in there. I couldn't believe they just threw him in there like that.
But that's remember we was saying that for years. Like, dude, we need to get we need to get a Marquise
You say
Morris,
you
Larry
would
Nance.
say Larry Nance.
I called Larry Nance out, and I was
You
like,
would say Larry Nance.
we got CJ McCollum in there with Larry Nance, and those two got the contract extension this year, and they are showing up big for the Pelicans. You can see
You know
his
what he
impact
reminds me of, man?
at the 5 is doing. He's tremendous. Who do you remind you of?
He is his friend, Josh Hart. Larry Nance is a bigger
It's a big
version of
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart, man.
We called that before. When
He's
we
a
said
big
that, yeah.
Josh
He's
Hart,
a big
man.
Josh Hart. Yep. He plays just like
He
Josh.
doesn't have that coast to coast ability, but what he doesn't have there, he has like far as touch around the rim, post game, defense around the rim. You know what I mean? So you sub out those abilities and you look at Josh Hart and just how those guys play, man. They got a lot of similarities. I see why they were pretty tight. You know what I'm saying? They play the game the same way.
Same
But
way.
they leave everything out there, man.
Yep.
They leave everything out there. So
Hold on,
great
DC,
game from
before you
Larry
finish,
Nance,
bro.
man.
Let me give a shout out to a few of the super chatters right quick before you finish, my friend. Ryan, shout out to you. Thank you for your super sticker, my man. Much love. Go Pels. B-Mac, shout out to you, fam. Go Pels. Shout out to you. Thank you, family. Appreciate all the family members in the building. Please feel free to hit the like button and the share button. Share the stream on your social media feed with the rest of the flock. We up in this thing. DC, continue, sir.
Yeah, man. Great game from Mr. Larry Nance, man. He gave you 19. Did that on 80%, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. Good game. My last guy, man, shout out to PI too. He didn't score a lot of points. I mean, he got 19, but he was efficient, man. 50% all the way across the board, 100% from free throw line. I don't know how he only went to the free throw line 3 times. That's ridiculous. But nonetheless, still, very quiet night for BI, but a quiet night for BI is 50% from the field, 100% from the 3-point line, 100% from free throw line for 19 points. That's a quiet night for BI. But shout out to him and Herb as well, who also played a pretty good game. But CJ McCollum, man, this man of the hour, man. We've been on him. I've heard some people as so much as to suggest CJ go to the bench and man, we shouldn't have traded for CJ. Can we trade CJ?
Man, that was as DC. That was as recent as what last game? A couple of days ago.
This was like a couple of days ago. I was here.
I was telling, I was like,
what?
Chill, man.
Like the man had a tough 4 games. Come on, now.
Yeah, chill. I mean, then you heard Willie said during the press conference that he was under the weather.
Willie was smiling, man.
So I was like, man, CJ McCollum is gonna be fine. CJ McCollum is this dude has a resume of having high caliber play, and he turned it on in this thing and did.
So been a 40% 3-point shooter for the majority of his career. Average is like 39%. You know what I mean?
Right.
Come on, man. We knew he would figure it out, but boy, did he figure it out tonight.
Right.
He got 30 points. You know what I mean? And 30 in these days in the NBA, some people ain't really impressed by that, right?
Shit, I'm impressed.
But he got 30 and he got 9 assists and he got 2 rebounds. But here's the impressive part, because I don't think people always think of this. little stat nerds who just look at the end of the stat line and then watch the game. CJ got 30 points, but he only took 2 free throws.
Yep.
That's a tough 30. You know what I'm saying? When
Yeah.
you getting a 30 ball and you ain't got no free throws, usually guys who dropping 30, 35, they got about 10 free throws in there.
He knocked down 7 3-pointers too, DC. I want to say 7 3-pointers.
7 for 13, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Yeah,
he was on it tonight, man. He was in his bag. He was hitting all his shots. Ja Morant, got 6 more points than him, but CJ
but he neutralized it. Right, he neutralized.
Oh, did he?
Whatever,
he neutralized everything Morant did.
Right, if Morant put up 30, whatever he put up 36.
He had to work hard for his 30 though, man.
Yeah, he goes to. I mean, he's just a physical guard, man. You heard Reggie Miller talking about Iverson 2.0 and all this kind of stuff, but CJ McCollum basically he neutralized Ja Morant's scoring production. CJ put up 30 and Morant did 36. So
36,
so the
he
Pelicans,
catch them up.
Right. So there you go.
Yeah, man. CJ went and he finally turned the water on, man. The shots was falling. And the guys was feeding him, man. They liked that he had the hot hand, and they kept it going, and CJ walks away with this one, taking us to victory, man. All the guys kept talking positive about him as he was going through his slump and how much he means to this team and how much he means to the success of this team. And you got to see it in prime time here tonight with no Zion. Everybody probably was anticipating the Pels folding again, because that's what happens when we play prime time. Somebody always get hurt, and we don't typically give our best performance, minus the Brooklyn performance to start the season in this one. So things are changing. CJ's back on, so hopefully he can keep this going, man, and they can find a way to mix him in and BI and Zion, man, and we could get that truly deadly trio that we've been looking for that probably should score about 75 to 80 points every game.
Crazy. They just don't understand. Yeah, I see some of the commentary from the flock, man. Shout out to the flock, man. Hit the like button for us, fam. Share the show, and also if you're not a subscriber, smash the subscribe button. What's really crazy about this, I'm seeing the commentary from the family members talking about with Barkley and
what did it say? What did it say, man?
They're saying that the Pelicans won't make it through according to the commentary, they're not a team that's going to make it past the first round. Let's see, here it is. Kevin says Charles and Kenny stated the Pelicans are good, but their team can't get past the first round. He not sure the Pels are ready.
What did they see? What did they see tonight?
Our three don't
them
fit
say
together.
that though. I don't get that.
It's just the part of the process where these guys sit up here. They don't watch the Pelicans a lot.
They say our 3 don't fit together.
They said the 3, which that just shows you they're not watching.
So they didn't even play tonight. What are they talking about?
They don't know what they're talking about. So that's what I'm saying. The national media are not going to really start getting behind the Pelicans, until we have more of these type of performances, like how you stepping on they favorite Memphis Grizzlies team, or you taking down the Golden State Warriors, and statement type games like this when you come out
pushing Charles Barkley's sons and stomping out Shaq's Lakers. That's what
right.
they better about.
That's when
we kick Kenny Smith Rockets ass too.
Right. Yeah, he kind of still mad about, but then again, everybody kicking Kenny Smith's Rockets ass. that ain't no big that shit. You kicked their ass DC the other day. So you don't even play in the NBA.
Whatever, man. I'm all about fair criticism, but I don't understand how we're what are we about 12, 13, 14 games into the season, and they talking about our big 3 don't fit and we ain't gonna make it out the first round. What did they see tonight that showed them that? Like I don't get it.
You asking me to analyze the thoughts of crazy people? I mean, it's just a random.
Let's move on. Before we get a little touch of that shit. Let's just move on.
Yeah. So this is the thing. Shout out to the fam, man. Charles is actually says, "What up, Big QDC? At this moment, is Big V trade bait?"
No, Charles. No. Come on, man. Big V is under a very reasonable contract. We still can use Big V. We have a need for him.
Yes.
He has a place on his team. It's just Larry Nance is he's playing otherworldly right now, man. And you got to give him minutes. So
Right.
You heard Coach allude to it in his interview. It's going to be based on matchups. Like when teams want to go
Yep.
small, we're going to lean more to Larry Nance.
What's that called? What's that called, Lex? Alexa, what's
I'm gonna
that
let her
called?
answer it. Lexa,
What's
she
that
gonna put
called,
it in
Lex?
there.
What's that
But
called, Lex?
when teams want to go big, man, they gonna roll Big V out there, and God forbid Larry Nance gets hurt, we still got Big V, and then you can call up Willie Herman Gomez or Jackson Hayes, which he might start getting more burn later in the season. I don't think we need to do anything. The only thing we need to trade is Devontae Graham if we can figure out a way to do that. There's no reason to get rid of Big V, especially as long as we have Larry Nance to pair with him. It's a perfect compliment to him for everything that he can't get done. You have a guy that can do it, what he can't do.
Yeah, I think we talked about Big V, and I said earlier, I said he's not chopped liver. He had a couple of games where he struggled, but you got to figure that thing out, or how he playing. Like he's getting his minutes, and I was saying he has to have some kind of impact within that allotted time. Like he have 10 or 12 minutes. I think tonight he had like 14 minutes or something like that. And the previous game it was like 20 minutes. And when Big V gets in there, he just gonna have to, handle the business, man. He won't have one of them full nights. And like I said, the Pelicans roster is so versatile that they can be able to move guys and adjust to whatever other teams is doing. And we know what that is. That's called a living roster. We talked about that. That's because you're a deep team with a lot of moving parts that work well together, despite with that dumbass Charles Barkley talking about. So the reality is at some point during the season in different games, you're going to need Big V's contribution. You're going to need him. You're going to need a big down there that can put in work against another big in the game. So I think it's a positive. All right, so let's get ready to kind of jump to the next matchup. And of course, we're looking at the next matchup is Chicago. This will be in the Smoothie King Center, DC. This will be on the 15th, which is actually tomorrow. This is tomorrow. This is a game tomorrow, the 16th tomorrow. So yeah, this will be in the Smoothie King Center. We'll have the Bulls. The Bulls, I think, currently on a 2-game losing streak, DC. They got injuries here or there. I know your boy is out, Alonzo is out, Kobe White is out. So the Bulls SB squad not looking too good. DeMar DeRozan is doing his thing, of course, leading them with the scoring, 24 points a game on 51% shooting from the field. Zion is listed as the top scorer for the Pelicans, 23.5 points per contest. Vujasev for the Bulls, 11.5 on the rebounds. Big V's 10.1.
Vujasev.
Vujasev.
Vujacic?
Is it Vujacic? Is Vujacic or Vujasev?
Vujacic. I think so. Vucevic.
Right. It must be a.
It ain't Vujasev. I know that.
It must be a cold day in hell if I'm taking pronunciation lessons from DC. Good grief. All right, so anyway,
Vucevic. That's how you say it.
So you said the wrong shit trying to correct me?
It ain't Vujasev, though. They ain't got no S's in there.
You don't know what you're talking about either, so you just said the right
They ain't got no
word.
goddamn S's in there.
All right. Let's keep it going. All right, DeMar DeRozan leads them in assists. And of course, you see CJ McCollum, 6.3 right there. So with that being said, family, Chicago 6-8. They 4th in the Central behind Milwaukee, who's leading that thing. They're on a 2-game losing streak. Cleveland's on a 4-game losing streak. Indiana is 6-6. Chicago's there. And of course, you look at Southwest standing, beating the Grizzlies, dropped them. They've lost 2 in a row. Dallas did win, so they're 7-5. The Pelicans are 3rd in the Southwest at 8-6 with 2-game winning streak. And listen, this looks a hell of a lot better than last year, and they're going to improve upon it because they got it on their mind. So a 2-game winning streak for Pelicans versus a 2-game losing streak by the Bulls. Let's get into it. DC Bulls back on the block with the Pelicans again. How can we sweep them? We just played this team on the 9th, and now we're about to get ready to get them on up out of here tomorrow. DC on the season sweep on this early on.
Yeah, I think this one is going to be probably a little worse than last game for them. We played them at the United Center, and things was a little rocky, man. We had a little up and down game, and BI kind of came through at the end and saved us. But they gonna have it going. Zion's probably going to play. The injury he has, I don't think is anything serious at all. They just probably didn't want him to play on a back-to-back, and they figured that it would be better this way with the Grizzlies. Especially, they probably thought that Jared Jackson wasn't going to play, and he wound up suiting up, I think, at the last minute, right? But the Bulls, man, I think the Pels at home versus on the road is a different animal. This is one of those teams where Coach was saying we were mentally fatigued and all of that, and we were feeling all the road games. Well, the Bulls were one of those games. So a refreshed Pels team is going to go in here against a kind of, I guess, meddling around Bulls team. They got some good players, but they're not playing that great right now. You know, not Zion. Lonzo Ball was obviously a little more valuable to this team than a lot of people expected. I think he's kind of not the engine that made it go, but just the glue that held everything together. That his outside shot, hitting those 3 balls and being able to help facilitate between 2 scorer-heavy guys, Zach LaVine and DeRozan, you know, I think was major, kind of helping them get their shots easy and not have to work so hard for them, because you're seeing them now. The one's averaging 21, one's averaging 23. Well, with Lonzo Ball, it'd probably be more like 28, and the other one be averaging 25. Like, that's a lot different.
Yeah.
And I think our keys to victory is just keep doing what we're doing, like Dennis Allen would say. You know, there ain't really much we need to change up. I think the game plan we had for him last time was pretty good. Big V probably should see a lot of minutes. Him and Vujicic match up well against each other, and I think he always gets up to play against Vujicic too. So maybe that was another reason Coach didn't give him a lot of minutes tonight. They might be resting him for this matchup. Yep. So hey, Larry Nance, it's your turn. Big V, go ahead and do your thing. And you know, whoever's asking about him being traded, you're gonna be tomorrow and be like, man, wow, he still can get 25 and 13. You know. Because that might be what he do, especially if Zion don't play. So expect to see him more in the package. But it comes down to me against the Bulls, man, because they're starting 5 and I'm starting 5. Even with Zion out there, they're still pretty formidable. But when you get to our bench and their bench, man, it's just no comparison.
Right.
That's where we pull away and we go ahead and we beat these Bulls teams because of the excellent play of none other than Mr. Jose Alvarado, Larry Nance, Najee Marshall, Tyson Daniels, hopefully. Did I miss somebody? Oh, yeah. All right, my bad. Devontae Graham. Got to mention him. He is on the bench. You know, those guys are playing excellent. And I think they'll definitely go ahead and lead us to victory.
Yeah, DC, I got to agree with you. It's definitely when things change up is when you start looking at the bench. And I don't know if Zion plays. They got him listed as day-to-day for the matchup tomorrow, so he might not play tomorrow. So,
all right, we don't need him to beat this Bulls team.
Yeah, but the thing is also staying on code. The Pelicans have to stay on code with what they did tonight, how they played 4 full quarters. They kept the turnovers down.
It's first time all season, other than the Brooklyn game, Q. We played 4 full quarters.
I know, and maybe that's the thing that they needed. They had to struggle to kind of figure out what they needed to do to get there. And CJ McCollum just had it on his mind. I wonder if he can be that force there that also kind of mimics some of that. I don't expect him to come out and fire off and get 30.
He got to go study on Kyrie Irving suspensions again. Because if
certain.
he do, I think
he might need one. I think you need to kind of pass that on to Jaylen Brown. I think he's doing a pretty good job with that. Jaylen Brown speaking to the media on that. I think he's doing a really good job. I like how he had kind of flipped Nike on their ass when he talked about how Nike was being hypocritical with what he was saying about them. But then, you know, all the little scandals, they get caught up with the sweatshops and whatnot. So that was a good touche moment right there by Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, and then also Adidas messing with Nike, and I think some people were saying Adidas had either Jewish or Nazi roots. It's like, wow.
Oh yeah, you dig hard enough, and you got the Watson computer with the Apple people and all that, man. all that. They want
It's
you want
crazy.
big.
There's a bunch of hypocrites, man.
Bunch of hypocrites, and then you shut them down quick with that bull crap when you check their ass on that. So good deal doing that. But anyway, back to the game, man. Listen, I don't expect CJ to put up 30 points against the Bulls tomorrow night, but I think more of a balanced approach by CJ. I think Bi gets up in that north of 20 marker. I'm gonna just say I don't think Zion plays in the matchup, but I still think the Pelicans bench duplicate a lot of those successes that they have. I think Trey Murphy has a better performance. I think Dyson Daniels will have a better performance, like a offensive performance to go along with that thing. Larry Nance, I think he'll continue to do his thing. So I think the Pelicans, man, it'll be cool to see them take that next step in terms of figuring out what they got to do to maintain that vibe they're working with right there. So beating the Grizzlies and then going up against the Bulls the next game is not an easy task because you got those really good players like Levine and DeRozan. But at the end of the day, the Pelicans are a better team than the Chicago Bulls, and they need to claim that. So I give you that. Like you said about the bench, I think the bench does help separate things a bit. So that'll be cool. And also, I'm looking for a better performance from Valanciunas too, DC. I think Valanciunas turns into better performance.
Well, I mean, he only had 14 minutes tonight. Sometimes he doesn't quite get off to a good start. Big V kind of picks his spots. And when he gets hot, they kind of feed him. And it's kind of one of those nights where you saw he wasn't going to have it going. So I definitely agree with you. And I see you, Charles. I agree to some extent. But I don't think Big V is of a liability as we think he is on defense. I mean, certain teams just when they want to switch everything or try to get us to switch everything and exploit him in that way with an athletic point guard or a guy who kind of hit that mid-range and those three-point shots like that. And they can basically isolate him in that way is, more of a defensive issue. Because sometimes if they're going to switch, why allow them to switch? So it's really our strategy of wanting to switch everything, and I don't think he's capable for that. But when we go into other defenses where we don't switch everything, Big V's not a liability at all.
Right.
Right. So it's that defensive scheme that we runs. He doesn't fit all the time, depending on who the matchup is. So,
but it's pretty cool to have a team that you can switch and put the players in that roll. You just roll Larry Nance in there, man, and don't skip a beat and actually have an advantage because Larry battles down really comfortable around the cup, and he also can lock down the 3-pointer for you like he did tonight. So we just have to get a few other guys on code when Jackson gets fully healthy. He gets back there and maybe he can contribute a little bit. But shout out to the brother Thomas with the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. He says seeing Herb, Dyson, and Jose all on the court one time was beautiful defense. We talked about that, DC. We talked about
man. I say, man,
time.
Herb would be mad at me because that would be the permanent second line. Like man, what better could you want? I understand, it's debatable who you would move into the starting lineup and all that.
They would say Trey. They would say Trey if you got all those.
I would put I put Trey in the starting lineup, man, and I sit Herb and put him with them guys, man. Because I mean, think about it. If you take CJ out early, right, and then when you finally probably give Jose some extra burn, right, and then you find, or you can say Herb or Dice, depending on the matchups. But when you finally sit down Zion, you can sit down Zion and Bi together, and Big V. Put in Larry Nance, Herb, Dyson, Jose, and CJ. What? That's your second unit?
Yeah.
That's your second unit?
That's insane.
Man, who gonna stop that shit?
Yeah, you couldn't score. You couldn't do a damn thing. Yep. You
got CJ orchestrating everything.
Thank you, Thomas.
You got Larry playing the cleanup man, bro. Getting them buckets in the dunker spot. You got three guys who can all hit 3-pointers. That's 3-and-D guys. Or a little more than that. Jose and Dice is definitely more than that on offense. And Herb has the ability to facilitate as well, and is an excellent cutter outside hitting threes. So, man,
That's what I was saying about guys.
we're so filthy in our ability to be deep, man. We just got to maximize how we use it, and
it's that
it kind of can be unstoppable.
It's that living roster we talked about so often. You have all these teams that come that's in the Southwest, like the Dallas Mavericks. They have Luka Doncic there, and then you have Luka at what 6'9" and 6'8", 6'9", or however tall he is, and then you roll out a Dyson Daniels and a Herb Jones, and those guys are 6'8", 6'7", guys there that plays that defense, and they won't stop you, but they'll slow you down. So I mean, it's just so cool to have these players, and they all share the same mindset of the team. And to speak on the tech, DC, to speak on the tech.
Oh, hell yeah.
CJ McCollum got tonight when he was fussing at the ref and Willie. Remember, that was one of the great minds of the Pelican flock throughout that says Willie need to go and collect a tech. Well, CJ did it for him, you know, and that kind of kept the intensity of the game going too, because the Pelicans wouldn't get many attempts at the foul line, and CJ showed his frustration. So a lot of people saying Willie got to start balking and all that kind of stuff, but CJ did it for him, and that kept the energy and the intensity in the Smoothie King Center and with the team going while CJ sat down. So that intensity did not fall off. That the team were able to maintain that, and they played with unison on through and finish off the Grizzlies. So, man, like I said, this could be
clearly had a love affair with Jared Jackson Jr. and Big Q. Even the announcers, man, they kept talking about how great he was. Man, the dude got 7 points. I mean, come on now, he got some blocks.
Yeah, DC. They were really, and see, that's why I hate national broadcasts, but they be talking about shit, going off on this guy. Now, listen, I ain't mad at Jaren Jackson, but come on, Jaren Jackson ain't doing a goddamn thing for you. Start talking about him when he's scoring points and doing some miraculous stuff. Don't just go into a whole little diatribe about Jaren Jackson and what the hell he doing. He'll really impress me if he can keep his ass healthy. How about that? So, I mean, it's just one of those things, man, that we have to do. I hate national broadcasts, man. We don't have Joel and AD there, man. These guys, they don't know the team, and they always talking about some shit we never want to hear, man. So it is what it is.
Well, I said that to say they're just kind of giving you a perspective, because I think the national broadcast a lot of times follows the template of the referees. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's what they were saying is exactly how the referees look at it. Because Jared Jackson Jr. was blocking some shots, bro. But he was fouling the shit out of people while he was blocking some of them shots, bro. And he got it clean, man. He hit the dude all on his hand. Like,
that boy was hacking the hell out them people, man. If that boy had if that boy had machetes for arms, machetes for hand, it'd been hands and arms all over the goddamn court. He would just knock just over, he just physical hitting, hacking, and they wasn't calling.
Well, in that defense, I know the brother, he's coming back to play, and he hadn't played in a while, so maybe that was some of the hype was about. But
maybe defense for Herb.
Man, they slide Herb be getting called, they be calling fouls on Herb, and he just played great defense.
Yeah, Herb stoic, so they know we can call this dude.
Herb's starting to get more animated, bro.
You got to get animated. You got to tell these guys, you got to do something, man, because it's not consistent. You can't have Jaren Jackson out there smacking everybody down and roughing every people and all this, and then Herb barely touching the guy when he got a foul on it. That's not consistent, man. Call it the same. That's all we can say.
The shit out of him. What a great block. You know we don't get treated fair, man. Saints don't get treated fair. Same people on the Saints
around here. DC, this is the Pelican Post.
Oh, I'm sorry. Miss Benson teams don't get treated fair. The same person who owns the other team owns the Pelicans, and I think that's part of it, man. That's the only thing I can understand, because I don't know what we did basketball wise to deserve. I mean, we just have to deal with atrocious call night after night. Obviously, you don't expect the referees to be perfect, but it's like blatant fouls. Like BI was getting fouled, you know what I mean? And they just don't call it. And we just, believe me and not your lying eyes, I guess, bro. I see it was a foul.
With that. Yeah, the hell with that. Yeah, we see.
Jared Jackson need the man all in the back and shit, man. They was talking about, he got a good blocking. Like, damn.
I'm telling you, man. Well, shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all chilling up in this thing, man. The Pelicans, man, listen, still got some ass to kick, man, in this game. Tomorrow, we got to take on SB's club, the Chicago Bulls, man, in the Smoothie King Center. Let's make it number 3. I don't know if we'll keep an eye out and see what happens with Zion. I don't know if Zion plays as he's listed day to day. So we don't know if he plays tomorrow. But
Hold on.
then again, you might not need him the way the Pelicans are playing right now, man. They might not need him. They can rest him a little bit. Adam says, chill, guys. The league is just lining up for okay. We won't get that guy, man. They'll cheat the hell out of us, man. They will not let you get him.
He would be a great player to have, man. It'll be almost be like, wow, we really got this much damn talent.
Yeah.
But I don't think the NBA let it happen. They'll rig that shit before they maybe we could get lucky and get scooped, but you know,
that's how they did it with Patrick Ewing when they did the lottery system for Patrick
that
Ewing.
Ain't happening, man.
They had a lottery. They put the lottery in for Patrick Ewing when he got drafted. They bent the corner on one of the envelopes that was put in there so they could recognize which ones to pick up. And then remember, a lot of this stuff they do behind the scenes before they break it out to you. So yeah, all that stuff is I doubt severely. I'll be really surprised if we ended up with that guy. I doubt we'll get him though.
Pelicans Nola brings up an interesting point about Jared Jackson Jr. that I didn't know. They're giving Jared Jackson Jr. some hype. I guess I'm gonna say hype. I guess that's what you was trying to say. Because his daddy played New Orleans for Walter L. Cohen High School.
I remember I remember Jared Jackson. Yeah.
And don't forget, I played for Carver and we won district 4 years when his daddy played. All right, brother. All right, brother. He snuck his little thing in there. I got you. But yeah,
Pelicans Nola. Let me ask this: Pelicans Nola, didn't Jaren Jackson Sr. did he play during the same time, around the same time as Lindell Eccles? When Lindell Eccles was out there at UNO, was that? Put it in the chat. Let me ask you that, bro. I want to say he played right around the same time, maybe a little bit after, but it had to be connected in some way with Jaren Jack playing there, and then Lindell Eccles was playing. Well, I think that was right before or after. So just put it in the chat, man. Let me know. All right. So with that being said, man, listen, man, this was a great win tonight. The Pelicans did a terrific job. They handled the business, man. I'm really proud of the squad, man. They went in there, DC, in the Smoothie King Center. They defended. They defended the crown. In terms of holding down the home court. So we did what we were supposed to do, and I'm really happy for this win. Let's just keep it going. We 8-6. We 4-2 at home. Let's keep it going. We got the Bulls tomorrow. Let's go ahead on and get them up out of here. That'll end them. We'll sweep them out on the series, and we'll go up 3 games. We'll be 9-6. Keep it going, man. So yeah, really great win from Pillar. This was you know what? The rest of these games I watched, we talk about the Brooklyn game, which was fantastic. This game right here was a very solid. I got to give it to him, a solid performance. Really enjoyed this game. It had a playoff type atmosphere. And if we can get more games like this, man, this will be an enjoyable experience to sit there and watch Pelican basketball. We can all get it together like that, man. So, man, that's all.
Yeah, man. When they play four quarters, it's a beautiful thing to watch, man. Go Pels.
Indeed. All right. So with that being said, fam, we're going to get out on that. Listen, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in this very exciting and happy episode of the Pelican Post Game Report. We take down the Grizzlies 113-102. We improved to 8-6 in that thing. We got the Bulls coming up tomorrow. We're gonna have to
you said it right, Bell Meat. We got the Bell Meat.
So let's make sure. Yeah, the Grizzlies and the Bulls. There you go, DC. How about that? All right. Keep that rifle loaded. All right. So with that being said, please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, and feel free to share the show. Share the show on your social media feed with the rest of the family members. We're gonna holler at you. I'm Big Q DC. I'm gonna holler at you later tomorrow, my brother. Shout out to the Pels, man. Go Pels.
Right, Flockers.
Media Network, for all things Pelicans.
Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and who that too. The WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, the WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.